Go ahead and do us a favor, hit the like button, hit the share button, and hit the subscribe button. This is Left Side of the Brain, and you are now in tune to the greatest YouTube channel, I'm not going to even say on Earth, throughout the galaxy. Today's title is love a handicap or is love a necessity? Is love a handicap or is love a necessity? And how I came about this title, I was laying down one night and I was thinking to myself, and it just dawned upon me. See, when you by yourself, you talk to yourself. At least I do. I like those moments when I'm by myself because I can see things in 3D. I can see things with crystal clear clarity, right? And I said, is love really necessary? Think about it. Is love really necessary? You know, and is love, or is love a handicap? Now, I got some water right here, right? Now this water, this is necessary to live. It's just some Deer Park water. This is necessary to live, right? Food that you eat is necessary to live. It's not something that grows onto you. You don't fall in love with water. If you don't drink water, you die. You don't fall in love with food. If you don't eat, you'll die. Then I thought to myself, I said, this thing called love, is it really necessary, Jags? Or is it a handicap? And the more I thought about that thing, the more I started to break it down. And I said to myself, nope, love is not really necessary. And I say really meaningfully. It's not really necessary unless you have become addicted to being loved. That can be a title in itself. How to break the addiction of being loved. Oh, that's dope. How to break the addiction of being loved. And I thought about it. I was like, you know what? Love is only necessary when you have become addicted to being loved. That's right. And I would like to quote a verse in the Bible. It says, God is love. What does that mean? That means God loves himself. He's not addicted to love, meaning that love has to come from someone else. Get my point? So the reason why I say love is necessary only when you have become addicted to love is because once a person come into this life, you born with instincts, right? And beyond instincts, everything else is something that you was introduced to. And upon being introduced to certain things, whatever it may be, you tend to form a relationship with those things. And then those things become a necessity. And then if somebody take it away from you, you feel empty on the inside. I'm getting somewhere. Just follow me. Just like a video game console, right? Now, a child, if they get in trouble in school, right? And the parent says, "Little Johnny, I'm going to take this video game away from you for an entire week." Little Johnny is going to burst out in tears because little Johnny has become addicted to the video games, and thus little Johnny sees the video games as a necessity for his life to prevent boredom, right? So without the video games, little Johnny feels a void inside of himself, and he sits and he cries and he feels heartbroken because he became addicted to being entertained through video games. Y'all can already see how I set that up and where I'm going. You're right. Likewise, when it comes to this thing called love, the moment a person falls in love, they begin, and I'm talking about with another person, they start becoming addicted to love, because love, that feeling of being loved, becomes a video game. It's the entertainment for that person. Loving someone else or being loved becomes a game for that person. And that's how people end up becoming suckers for love. Now, once that person becomes addicted to love, that emotion, which is nothing but a drug, when you take it away from them, they feel heartbroken. They cry just like little Johnny cried when the video game was taken away from him. Right? So in that regard, we're going to get to the title, the first part of the title. Is love a handicap? And I'm going to tell you right off the bat, yes. Because it handicaps one from being complete within oneself. One becomes a seeker of love, overlooking the love that they already have inside of themselves. So you're looking outside of your window, which is looking into space, not realizing you are standing in space while looking outside of the window. That went over some of y'all heads. I'm using space as a metaphor for love. That inside that you are standing in when you're looking out that window, thinking that you are looking outside, you standing in the outside, because outside is just open space. You are inside an open space, feeling like you got to go outside. But outside is space and inside is space. And that space is love. So the handicap is formed when people start thinking that they got to find love, seeking out love when it exists within. Everything you need to survive, you were born with, including love. I repeat, everything that you need to survive, you was born with, including love. That's right. If you can go, now, if you went a couple of days without water, you would die, because that's a necessity. If you went a couple days without being in a relationship or being in love, you're not going to die, because it's not a necessity. So I repeat, it's only a necessity when it becomes an addiction. Now, once it becomes an addiction, Just like drugs, you may get love withdrawal symptoms. Because once you're addicted to something, it comes with withdrawal symptoms when you try to break away from that thing. You know, love withdrawal symptoms, you might stop eating. You might sit around and stare out the window and cry. You might start having suicidal thoughts. You might start cutting yourself with a razor, trying to gain some type of sensation that love gave you. But guess what? Once you come to the realization of what I'm saying, once you come to that realization, you will never, ever feel like you just have to be loved by someone, or that you just have to be in a relationship. Because ultimately, you got to tell yourself, it's not a necessity for my survival. It's not. It's not. It's not a necessity for your survival. And we can prove this because it's plenty of stories of people who have left society and who have lived out in the wilderness, just living in nature, food, water, shelter. That's all you need. So this is just another nugget of truth to go along with everything else. See, this love thing can also be weaponized. That's right. People can weaponize love by simply saying, if you don't do such and such, I'm going to take my love that I'm giving you away from you. You see how I just weaponized that love? You know why you can weaponize it? Because all love shared between human beings is conditionally based. I repeat, all love that's shared by human beings is conditional based love. It's not unconditional. And whenever something comes with a condition, the person dishing it out are liable to take it away. That goes without saying. That goes without saying. And love is also something that you're constantly, I'm talking about love outside of yourself, like when you're loving someone else. It's something that has to be maintained. It's like a garden. If you don't call the person, the love dies out. Just like if you don't water those flowers, they'll dry up and die. And I say that to say this. When you love yourself, you're going to automatically do what you have to do to survive. It's not like something that you got to maintain outside of yourself. And even that flower bed example wasn't sufficient enough, because a human being that you say you're in love with, they can resist the watering. Meaning, you might call them, they may not be in the mood to talk to you. You see, love is not always reciprocated back to the person that's giving the love. So then you end up in a game of cat and mouse, chasing the love, almost like a crackhead chasing that next hit from the crack pipe. Yeah, that's when you become a sucker for love. And since I use the crack pipe analogy, I'm gonna say subliminally, when they say sucker for love, they literally mean this. You're sucking that crack of love through that pipe. You literally have become a sucker of love. You get it? That love is like that crack, that heroin, and you becoming a sucker for love. Because essentially, how you know it's a drug, what do they tell you about crack? They say it's the best feeling you can have. What are drugs designed to do? Make a person feel good. Something outside of yourself that you utilize to make you feel good is a drug. I'll repeat. Anything outside of yourself that you utilize to make you feel good is a drug. It gives you that elation effect. Oh, I get so high off your love, baby. I've heard love songs like that. You make me feel good. No. You don't make me feel good. I was already feeling good. You just joining me in my feeling good state. Got to retrain the way you think. You make me feel good. You just reminded me that I already feel good. You got to start thinking like that. Say that about the person. You just reminded me that I feel good. Because when I see you, I started smiling. Not because of you per se, but because I'm a friendly person. So then when that person leaves, you still got the smile. You still got the smile on your face. They didn't give you that smile. They can never take it away. Think about that. What I'm giving you guys is what I'm giving you Jags. I don't like saying guys. That's lame. What I'm giving you Jags is a life empowering message. Self-love builds internal fortitude. Start inhaling that love for yourself. Every time you inhale, each breath that you breathe, that's you loving yourself because you keeping yourself alive. Every time you breathe, without even saying it, you keeping yourself alive. That person you say you love, you're not inhaling them. They not oxygen. So they not no necessity. You feel what I'm saying? Now, I'm not saying that you can't love a person, but we got to redefine words. See, if you love someone, it simply means this is just a person that I have a commonality with, and leave it at that. But anything beyond that is an addiction. Anytime you make anything outside of yourself, save for water and food, a necessity for your life, you have created an idol in your life. And you're not supposed to have anything above God. That means you have created an idol in your life. And too many times people start banking on this love. Like, this person who loves me, they're going to be around forever. When you know good and well, you're not going to even be around forever. So how are you going to say that person will be around forever? Now, I'm not saying not to have friends, but don't fall in love. Fools fall in love. Wise men stand in love. That love inside of themselves. A wise man stand inside of love. Like that house example I gave you. In the house, in space, looking outside of the window at another space or area, feeling like you need to get in that space, not realizing that all the while You standing in space, looking out of the window into space. But you in space right now. That's right. Even on this earth, we in space right now, talking about, I gotta travel to outer space. You are in outer space. So start thinking like that. Compare the love to outer space. The outer space comes from the inner space. That love is inside of you. That's right. Just how the universe is inverted. Everything inside exists outside. That love you feel is outside of you is on the inside of you. And that's the love that no man can take away. They can't take that away. And they play upon your love if you weak. If you a fool, a sucker for love, people can play upon that. They can play upon your emotions. So the next time you land on your pillow at night, I want you to play this video and I want you to think about it. Just look around your room. You might have a candlelight. You might have a little nightstand lamp, a little soft light. Just think about what I'm saying. Think about all of the people you say love you or who you thought loved you throughout your life, and say to yourself, where are they right now? I'm in this room by myself. That's the epiphany I had that night. I'm in this room by myself, thinking about people and all, just thinking about all types of things, but you don't even know if them people thinking about you. So really, you in love with a figment of your imagination, because you never know if somebody else is really thinking about you the way you're thinking about them. So you may as well turn all of that attention you giving other people in your mind and just say to yourself, I love me, and that's good enough. Now, what I'm saying is not being selfishness, but even if it is, so what? People get so hooked up in the word selfish, thinking that selfish is something negative. Selfish can have its positives, and being selfish can keep you out of a lot of trouble. But we're going to do that in another video. I think I'm going to do a series on emotions. And this would be, this get the ball rolling. And this is a new chapter. We ain't never did this before. Like we do a series on emotions. Because we know that a lot of these emotions that we have is what the HPB realm uses to play upon us. Like that love string emotion of the heart. You feel what I'm saying? So this is part one. This is a very complex subject. I don't even think I even touched on half of what I could have said. But for the sake of brevity and uploading the video, I'm going to end it right here. Tell me what y'all think about it in the comment section below. This is Left Side of the Brain. Like, share, and subscribe. HPB's down, Jaguars up. And this is Left Side of the Brain, signing out. I want y'all to tell me what you think about this for real. I want some real in-depth comments to this. And this is Left Side of the Brain, signing out.